I'm sorry, Andrew Weissman, but if I recall correctly, in 2018, you were one of the people who helped write the Mueller report, and you all botched the hell out of that.
And never in my wildest dreams would I have thought we would be here. I thought we were better as a country.
Oh, yeah.
Like all these sites that have been around for creating videos and all that, like text stock videos, they're done.
That's why Canva was one of the first to get into doing AI.
What is up, everybody? It's Dr. Vibe here, host and producer of the award-winning Dr. Vibe Show, the home of Epic Conversations, and I'm the home of Epic Conversations. 2020 Best Podcast News Award winner, 2018 Innovation Award winner, given out by the Canadian Ethnic Media Association. I also co-host and co-produce the only, let me say that again, the only, 2 words but powerful words, online show for dads and fathers and male caregivers that is sponsored by Dove Men Plus Care. And since 2020, on that platform, the team I work with, we've reached out directly and indirectly to over 400,000 dads, fathers, and male caregivers around the world. And as always, I'd like to say you're blessed, highly favored, a magnet for miracles, and a solution for someone's problem. We're broadcasting July 20th. The summer is going. The summer is going. So Saturday evenings, we have Primetime Saturday with Aisha and Lala. Aisha's not with us today, family. She's a little under the weather, but Lala.
Hi.
Hello, Lala. But yeah, so a few things. Primetime Saturday at Patreon. There's a Discord group where we continue the conversations offline. Email me dr.vibe at the drvibeshow.com. And if you want, subscribe to the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube and hit the notification button. As I said just recently, over 1,500 subscribers. Now we're going for 1,600. And you know what? I'm thinking maybe a giveaway for the supporters here.
Oh, that would be awesome.
I have something up. No, I have something even, I think, better than merch. We won't talk about it, right?
Ooh.
Something to help people.
Cliffhanger.
Yes. Question. Well, there's actually, I'm going to talk about another cliffhanger that you and I know about. We'll get to in a second. Again, advertise your business, product, or service on the platform. Please email me dr.vibe at the drvibeshow.com. And can't forget too, we have rebroadcasts on a number of platforms, but this one, especially Indie Soup TV, powered by our good friend Dr. Tachi out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. It is an independent creators network of over 30 independent creators. And now they've been around for 4.5, almost 5 months, 15,000 YouTube subscribers.
Amazing.
So
I'm so proud of her.
It just keeps on rolling. Let's get down to some conversation here. And I know the family is going to join in. There was a little going on in Milwaukee this week.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
The U.S.
I call it the clown show. Gonna be a 3-ring circus someday. Because I know they're crazy. I know they're crazy. Nuttiness. It was parade on cookie list.
Okay, so go for it. Where you want to start?
Oh, where do you not start? The whole thing was absolutely clown show from the people they had speaking, and especially for the Black community. How dare you have people talk to us who know nothing about our community at all, to their whole full rhetoric of how they're supposed to be making America great again, when the whole platform pretty much stands on racist principles. And here's the thing, people have lost sight about what really is America. When we came up, it was known as the Great American Melting Pot. Immigrants were welcome. We welcomed them in. This was what was supposed to be so amazing about our country. And now they just don't want any of them in at all. If you're not white, then you're not right. And they just have this whole agenda based on lies. And You know, Dr. Vibe, I don't put up for any crap on either side. We actually did have a Democratic person go down this week. And you know what? He was corrupt. So, hey, if you're corrupt, you gotta go. Gotta go. But when your whole platform is based on lies and it's cultish, then there's a problem. So, you know, as last week, when we were live and we first came on, that's when the assassination attempt happened. So it was completely unfolding as we were having our show. And at first we thought this was like some kind of joke. This was like, what is going on? But as more and more came out, we found that it was more of a true case, and people died. People died at that rally. And what was interesting to me is people seem to push that aside and put Trump on some kind of God pedestal instead of focusing on the fact that, hey, people really did die at that event. And I felt like they didn't get the attention or the respect for the time of that. Now, it has come out that the gentleman who did die that was behind Trump, his wife got a call from Biden, which I thought was completely respectful. You would think that your commander in chief would do the right thing, because this is no longer, this isn't a red or blue thing. You unite when something like this happens. We don't want this in our politics. We may disagree, but at this level, this is wrong. We want no assassinations. I can argue with you all day long on your politics, but no one needs to die. And so Biden did the right thing, and he called this gentleman's wife, and she wouldn't take his call. Are we here now?
Well, yeah, I'm glad you mentioned. I guess, why wouldn't she take his call?
Because she stated that her husband was so against Biden and that he was so pro-Trump that she didn't want to dishonor his memory. To me, that's what this division of politics does. We are supposed to come together in unity during tragedy. We have not been able to do that in many, many years, and I'm worried for my country. The fact that this lady wouldn't even talk to President Biden just for him to express his condolences speaks volumes. But guess what? Trump never called her. Trump played golf. He went out and did his thing. And then, guys, here's the thing. I am trying to keep my mouth shut about what happened until I know more facts, because we know one thing about media. Media is always the first to rush to try to get the first story out, whether it's right or wrong. And I truly want to know as many facts as possible before I make the judgment. There's just too much confusion about this whole thing going on. So, we hear the stories of that he was not really hit with a bullet. He was actually hit by a shard of glass. Does that lessen the fact that it was an assassination attempt? No, it does not. That does not for me. That is a scary thought. But you're also talking about a party who doesn't give a about gun control. So I have this feeling of chickens coming home to roost, because all this outrage that his cultish followers are following down, you should have that same energy when our children are gunned down in their schools. They do not. And not only that, Dr. Vibe, my man left up out of there with no bandage on his ear, was out, went to the hospital, no problem, no bandage on his ear. But the minute the RNC started, he came out with this big old diaper-sized Band-Aid on his ear. And his cult followers did the same. They put these pads on their ears, and some of them wrote "fight, fight, fight" on them, which is not even Trump's words. If you look back, Roosevelt did the same thing. So Trump is not doing anything that is his own doing. And the clown show that was put on by the RNC just shows me just how much division my country has. And I'm worried and I'm upset because I'm starting to feel like no one is safe. Because if I disagree with you, guess what? Pew, pew, pew. I'll shut you up.
Okay.
And that seems to be the way.
Regina Ferris goes, they don't have a platform. They have nonstop pandering to the insane mafia boss.
Yes. And can I please expand on that before we move on to the next
take
comment?
your time. Take your time.
Regina, you are totally right, because what they do is they lean into fear. They lean into the fear for white people being afraid of losing any power that they have. White people, not allies, but generally the people who follow MAGA, they're afraid. You understand, all of that is fear. They're afraid that they're losing their jobs. They're afraid that they're losing power. They're upset because they're no longer the majority of what we are in our country. So what they do is they tap into that fear so that they feel more powerful, because it's more power in numbers. So everything that you hear coming out of that platform is fear-based. And that is not a good place to be, because fear can definitely cause violence. However, when they see us standing up, then now we become the threat. So I think that you are very on point with your comment.
Okay. Dr. Tachi, good evening. You know, Dr. Tachi, I was going to ask you to come on this evening, but it was probably a little bit too much short notice. So yeah, I said, you need a break, but I don't know when you take a break, by the way. Regina says, good to see you here, Dr. Tachi. Regina says, 45 played golf instead of calling the widow. I'd like to know what his followers would say to that.
They don't care. You see, Dr. Vibe, this is the thing that is proven over and over and over. Whatever he does, whatever actions he does, whatever movements he makes, they just follow. I call them sheeple. And this can be on the Democratic side. This can be on the GOP side. I like people to know that I'm pretty balanced. I know that most people who come here and watch our show know that I have Democratic leniency. I lean to the Democratic side. But honestly, right now, I am registered as an independent because I have a problem with both parties. Now, most independents lean toward Democratic anyway, but I just felt like both sides need a lot of work on what they're doing, and they've gotten too far from the true meaning of working for the American people, that they are all out for themselves. There's only a few that I really feel like are there for the right reason. Bernie is one of them. Jasmine Crockett is another. Hakeem Jeffries, another. I really feel like they are really working for our country, but now those people are in such a minority because of the rhetoric and the division that the GOP is causing. Let's look at this real quick. The last few years, we have been talking about the GOP being split into two divisions. Okay, so that means MAGA, who live, breathe, and die Trump. And then you have the other GOP, who to me are traditional GOP, who don't like what Trump's doing, but they feel like they kind of have to follow in that lane because they are all Republicans. Now, some are breaking with that mold. And actually, one of them came out this weekend, I cannot remember which one it was, who actually said he voted against Trump in the last election because he just felt like Trump would not be the proper person. He wrote in someone, but he didn't vote for them. And I can pretty much guarantee a lot of the regular GOP, not the MAGA GOP, probably did the same. However, we've all been focused on their split, right? That's been the main topic. However, now we are facing the same thing with the Democratic Party and what they're doing to Biden. So we have a very damaged and a very bruised and a very broken system here. I don't know what it's going to take to fix it.
Regina says the media are at the forefront of fanning the flames against Biden.
Yes.
She also says you do not change horses midstream.
No, you
And she
do
also
not.
says 45 is the king of rambling.
Yeah.
I gotta say though, when I saw people wearing the patches over their ear,
Cult. That's cult. Dr. Vibe, now I want you to think back of what you just thought of right there. Okay. Now, what happened with Manson? The same thing. Those girls showed up the way Manson wanted them to show up. This is no different. This is no different. This is not sympathy. This is cultish behavior. And if those are the people that want to run our country, we are beyond danger. We are past danger. And I am very concerned about how the world is looking at us. But then you have Biden.
You don't have to, people know, you don't have to really think about it. We know the way the world's looking at America.
I already know. But
I'm not in America. I can tell you what people think about America.
I know, but if you listen to, here's an example of what I'm talking about. So when Biden came out and he was doing a speech and he was introducing the president of Ukraine, he called him Putin. Everybody knew that. So that made him look like he was deranged or he couldn't get it together. But Zelensky actually came out and said, oh, people make mistakes. But you know, people behind closed doors are like, he's not fit to lead the world. There, with the rumors that are going around now that he is not mentally capable, it makes him look like he's not mentally capable. I don't believe he's not mentally capable. President Biden has been a career politician, is very well versed in everything that he does, and he knows how this works. But now we're dealing with maniacs who have cultish behavior that ignore their own leaders, because he don't give a shit about none of them, right? But is quick to damn our current president.
Well, it's interesting that people, I'm not defending, I'm just saying what people put the highlights on, right? Because okay, Biden said the name wrong, but did the media really highlight allegedly how many lies 45 said during that debate?
No.
So
which tells me they're all on board. I used to trust CNN. I used to kind of give a little bit of weight to CNN. I refuse to watch them anymore.
Well, I'll be honest, I haven't watched CNN for a long time. But my thought is, so people out there who are especially watching live, what's a bigger concern? Biden's health or 45's lies?
Here's what scares people, Dr. Vibe. So let's look at an awful scenario, because it's something that we have to address. If Biden continues and he wins, and something should happen to him, Kamala is the next in line, okay? Black, although she does claim her other heritage as well, but there are many people that do not care for her at all. And they don't like the fact of her policies or the things that she has stood for before. I happen to say I'm on the fence about Kamala because I kind of know some of the things that she did in California since I was a citizen of California for so many years. I wasn't really pleased about some of the things that she did toward the Black community. But, you know, I don't agree with any politician 24/7. I just don't. But, okay, so now she has moved into the power of presidency. Okay, who's under her? Hakeem. People in America are still upset about Obama. They are not ready for a Black female president, or in their case, they ain't going to claim she's Black. They're going to claim that she's, like they did with Barack Obama. No, biracial. Well, you forgot your own not one drop rule. And then you have Hakeem. You have two Black powerful people in this office. White America does not want this.
I'd say a number of white Americans. We can't just say blanket statement.
Well, yeah, you're correct.
Yeah.
I stand corrected on that because I don't
Yeah.
like to lump everybody in general because I'm like I told you, in the old days, there were some things that Republicans did that I agreed with, and there
Yeah.
were some things that Democrats did that I didn't agree with. But now I feel like I can never agree with them anymore because they've all gone down this.
Yeah, I think a number of Americans fiscally are conservative, but socially are more left.
Yeah.
I believe. I think there's a lot of people that are divided in regards to that because I know a number of people that say, you know what, fiscally, yeah, I'm not left, I'm more right, but socially, I'm left. So there's a lot of
Right.
people that are uh there's some things going on. I'll hold one of the comments. I was going to ask you to come on back, but other things that you took away from the RNC convention, anything else you're wanting to?
Yeah, a lot.
Okay.
So one of the things is his announcement of Vance as his vice
Oh,
president.
the man who disreputed him heavily.
I mean, Vance tore him down to, honey, if there was a stone rock fight, all them rocks would have been on Trump thrown by Vance. So now all of a sudden, Vance is his running partner, and Vance is also married to an Indian descent woman, person of color. And I have major concerns about that. I have done my research on him.
I want to hold on. Do Republicans, don't they have something about that?
They all have a thing about that. But look at President Trump, previous President Orange one. Okay, he's married to an immigrant as well.
No, but this is different. Brown immigrant, not
Yeah,
just
well, that's
immigrant.
true. That's true.
So
No, so it goes against everything.
So this is what I'm saying. Like, you're against immigration policy, and again, I'm just putting these things out. Your policy says you're against immigration, but the vice president nominee's wife don't look like a white American.
No, but see, here's their desperate attempt to show that they are the party of all people. But the people that they're showing are the people who are doing the tap dancing and truly feel like they are a part of their group when they'll be the first ones to get thrown.
It could be a very astute political move, but we're going to get to some comments and we'll get back to it. Regina says 45 told 28 lies during the debate, and you haven't heard about anything really about it. A lot of people have dumped CNN. I know that too. What is up, Ryan? Good to see you. Biden's health is a major concern, but 45's lies represents what the entire party is capable of getting away with now. Regina says, I'm on the fence about Harris, and also remember how Tulsi Gabbard shredded her in the Dem debates in 2020.
Yeah.
Regina said, I prefer Jasmine Crockett to Harris.
Oh, yes, honey. If we had her, I would be so happy.
Too. And April says, Brian trying so hard not to make mistakes, it's causing him to make them.
Yes.
And then Vance is a snake in the grass.
Oh, yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay. There's a little bit of thing about Vance and his wife being South Asian. So some interesting take here. So research shows in America, if you look at couples, marriage and culture and economic status, what culture has the highest rate of marriage along with the highest rate of economic status in America?
I would say Asian.
South Asian.
Yeah. Yeah. But then, Dr. Vibe, there are so many culturally in that do see themselves as Caucasian.
But and also too, could be a big win for the Republican Party.
Yes, it can, because let me give you an example. Okay. In California, I lived in Los Angeles County. Okay. However, I lived on the line of Los Angeles County and Orange County. Okay. Los Angeles is definitely blue. Okay. But when you cross that line to Orange County, that's when the Trump flags fly. Okay. And there is a huge Asian population down there. And when Trump was running this last time, there were many people standing on the side of the road with Trump flags, like Asians for Trump, Blacks for Trump. These were the things that absolutely blew my mind when I was there, because I saw California as being such a different type of state. But when you look at the actual blue and red map there, the power of concentration of the red is mostly the people with money. So it's always the have and have nots. And most Republicans are always trying to make sure that they take care of their own financial homes. So this makes sense. A lot of it makes sense. I have never felt so unsafe in my life than when I have sold many homes in Compton and in Watts. Am I afraid of those areas? No, I'm not. The only time I felt afraid is when I ran through Beverly Hills with my top down on my convertible Beetle, and they were having a Trump rally, and they slurred names at me. They were throwing things, and they were violent. This was in Beverly Hills. Have nots.
Yeah, well, this is what I'm saying, but I just came to me about that thing about having that South Asian wife.
Yeah.
And economically, South Asians do pretty well in America.
They do, but Dr. Vibe, they've had some backlash from the true MAGA who are angry about that and have spoken out about that.
Ooh,
They don't
that I
want
didn't know.
No. And guess who else was there giving props after saying she wasn't going to kiss his ring? Nikki Haley.
Oh, yes, good old Nikki. Yes, Nikki, kiss the ring.
Kiss the ring. Yeah.
So so family, I know you don't got a lot of times in your life, but just if you have some curiosity, look at what people like Nikki Haley said about 45, and now she's kissing the ring.
Very much so, because she wants something.
Oh yeah. Oh
she
yeah.
Wants. They all want something.
It's all about power. It's not about morality. It's not about morality.
And it's not about America. So let's be very, very clear. I'm going to use Aisha's words. Let's be very, very clear. This is not about America.
Well, no. Okay. This is about what they see America is.
Yeah, but America. To me, you've already notched it down. You don't give a shit about the American people. You care about your power and what you want in your America. But this is not what America is.
Well, yeah. It'd be very interesting to how, and Dr. Chat says they don't want that. Okay. It'd be okay. She says Nikki Haley hates the Southeast Asianness so much, hates her Southeast Asianness so much.
Well, honey, she was probably seething at the RNC when she saw the.
She wanted that.
She wanted that.
Yes.
Badly.
Jen said Vance has said a lot of crazy things. If you watch the link I put in Discord with him on Tucker Carlson show, you won't believe it. He has no respect for women unless they have a husband and children.
Yeah, that's who we're dealing with, y'all. That is who we're dealing with. And I want you to understand something else that people we get so tied up. We get so wrapped up in what people are saying and what they're doing and all of these things, but they're telling you exactly who they are right now. So there some things that concerned me this week is that some Trump supporters that I know actually have said to me that they don't feel that, they're not going to have time to implement Project 2025. Then you didn't read it, because in the first 185 days, they're going to strip Congress. They're going to strip the Senate. They're going to strip the courts. They're going to strip everything and give all power to the president. Don't take much to implement that. So the fact that you think that it's going to take years for them to implement this when they've already started it is a very big danger sign. You better be on your P's and Q's.
Well, if they have the control of the presidency, the House, and the Senate, you can't stop that. And the Supreme Court.
That's right.
Right? Regina says 2 diehard Republican fuels I know are not voting for 45. They informed me this week. Regina, what
For
were
the win.
so what was the reason for them not wanting to vote for 45? I'm just very curious. And again, we're in July 20th. November is a long way away.
No, it's right around the corner. No, in an election year, we're never, ever, ever going to be able to change MAGA's ways. It is those who are on the fence or the independents or those like Regina's friends who have found things that are highly disturbing. So the matter is, how many MAGA are we looking at? Because these are people. Let's look at this for real now. These are people who have been hiding in the shadows, and not all of them come out and say what they really believe. They're so used to being in the shadows that even though they have someone now who's speaking, some are still like, I don't know if I want to be a part of that, but that's exactly how I feel. So now we do need to be concerned about those MAGA supportives who are just not vocal.
Okay, so Regina, thank you for your response to my questions. That she said they think Project 2025 is scary and that the GOP is blatantly misogynistic.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's a question then for you, Lala, and also people in the audience, if you have any takes, especially those who are living in America, watching this live or on replay or listening on replay. What is the reasoning for white women to be so supportive of the Republican National Party?
You know what, Dr. Rob, I wish that I can answer that, because it's been a stumper in my mind for so long. Because what they don't understand is they're voting against their own selves. The things that they're trying to force upon other people will also be forced upon them. And the thing that I always think about when I hear about them supporting is, no joke, I think Stepford Wives. Stepford Wives. They're going to be robots who think that nothing will ever be able to touch them until it actually touches them. So you got me on that one, because I truly wish I had an answer for you, because it really causes me like confusion when I think about it. I just do not understand it.
Isn't it okay? And there's also another TV series that something Handmaiden. What's the name?
Yes, Handmaid's Tale. Mm-hmm.
Yes, I hear that coming up a lot now these days. So Regina, you need to come on live one day, or even turn off your camera and come on. Dr. Tachi does that at times. We would like to have you here too. She says, I grew up in an upper class GOP neighborhood, Chappaqua. Hope I got that right. If I didn't, it's my head, not my heart, where the Clintons now live. Republicans are telling me they're not voting for 45. They hate him. They want people like Mitt Romney.
Yeah, but even Mitt has his own issues. There are sometimes I'm very proud of Mitt, but then that's, once again, like I said, you can't agree with a politician all the way down the line like MAGA does. Okay. MAGA agrees with everything that Trump says, period. He could say, there's a fly on the wall. Yeah. But Mitt seems to vacillate sometimes in the fact that he stands strong on some things because of his religion. However, he then tends to sway when some things and so that concerns me about Mitt.
Well, it's because I think he's not running next election, so it's just me interesting to see how many politicians are not running for re-election next time. So let me ask you: is there anything in Project 2025 about term limits?
I've read all through that. I don't now Trump said he would put that into his next presidency, Trump term limits. But as I recall, the part that I've really studied, I have not seen term limits. Why? Why would you worry about term limits if you're going to actually strip people of their power?
Okay. Regina says, but they are Republicans and they refuse to go MAGA.
True. And there is a difference. Regina, you're very right. You're very right. But what bothers me is the same thing that Mitch McConnell did. Remember, guys, when Trump was in, he was all trying to support him. And then when he was out, then he started talking bad about him. And then once he realized that he was going to be the nominee, he was right back in it. So I just don't trust any of them. Although I do feel that some of them are just like, this is just not the way. Not the way at all. And I feel that they do care, even though there are Republicans, they're the old-fashioned Republicans, but MAGA is even calling them out on that. You're old-fashioned. This is not the way we want you to run our country. So you see, we have a division now. We're split 4 ways. We're split. 2 on the Republican side, and right now 2 on the Democratic side, which is very concerning.
So after watching this convention, what do you feel about the Republican? I'm going to give you 3 different players, but first, what do you feel about the Republican Party?
As a whole, all the ones that support Trump, trash. I feel like what you have actually done to us is killed our America. America's always had problems, but not like this. Yes, we know that we've always had racism and bad racism, and we know the history of that. But when they want to strip your history and whitewash absolutely everything, we are beyond danger. We have to understand our history before we can move forward in unity. The problem is they want no unity. So I did listen, and I got sick every single night to my stomach because this is actually sheer madness.
Man, you don't have a lot to do with your life if you listen to all of it, but that's a whole other thing. But you're a media personality now, so people are relying on your feedback.
Yeah, it was hard, y'all. I'm sure, sir.
Regina says the Bulwark and the Lincoln Project followers are old school Republicans who detest
Yes.
MAGA.
Yes, and I actually love their content. They always keep it real. And when they find out something isn't right, they take it down immediately.
Regina says MAGA represents 48% of the Republican Party.
Yeah, that's some scary numbers, right?
Okay, so then my next subset of the conversation piece, what are your thoughts after the Republican convention about the Democratic Party? What would you tell them?
I'm actually very afraid of our Democratic Party right now, and I'm very disappointed in them. I will tell you my true feelings because I always tell you guys that. And in the moment, I fear that Trump has the power to pull this off. And the reason is because he taps into that fear and because of what Regina said, the percentage of what is really MAGA. Now we are showing the weakness in the division of should Biden step down? Should he not? I'm running. No, I'm not. Yeah. What did doctor say? You know, here's the thing that bothers me the most. We all know about COVID. Biden was one who admitted about COVID in the very beginning and tried to put things in place. But they're acting like this man is dying of cancer. COVID is now a part of our lives. You're going to get COVID. If you haven't gotten it, God bless you. But I've gotten it twice. And I've been very, very concerned about my health being around other people during especially the cold season. This is not the end all to his political career. However, the Democrats are acting like that. Now, AOC has come out very strong about we don't do this. Here are the dangers that would happen if we decided at the last minute to switch our candidate. And she has come out and been very vocal about that. And I've actually been very appreciative of her about that. What I don't like is all the rumors that the media are putting out because people misassume what they're saying and what is actually being reported. Right now, everyone is saying, it is rumored that behind closed doors. Well, were you behind closed doors? Do you really know this for a fact? So saying that he should step down. So, we have a lot of craziness going on in our own party. And I think that with so much unification after the cheerleading session, let's be honest, guys, who feels good when you go to a pep rally, right? That's what these are. That's what RNC is. And that's what ours is too. DNC, right? They're pep rallies for our people. So when you come off of a pep rally, you're hype, and everything is focused on that pep rally. So I'm curious to see how I will feel after our DNC happens, because there's just too much discord and too much what I feel is false news or misrepresenting news being put out.
So I'm actually going to, because I'm just going to take a poll from an organization called 538.
Okay.
So I'm going to put up what they show recently in regards to polling numbers. Let's see if we can pull it. And obviously, if you're listening to this on replay, you won't be able to see it. But let's do this. Let's see if we can zoom it in. Let's do again. Zoom in. So hopefully you guys can see it, but 538, somewhat respected, and you probably can't see it all that great. Let me try to give another zoom in. And I'll try even another one. So saying who's ahead in the national polls. So, and again, you probably still can't see. Maybe you can. Can you guys see it all right?
A little bit.
Okay, it's not too bad. I'm taking a look on my screen. It looks not too bad. All right. All right. So right now, their polls as of July 20th, 43.5%. Biden, 40.2%. Kennedy, 8.6%. With a 3.2 margin of error. So almost a dead heat right now.
Yeah, but that's been to me, guys, that's been the history of this whole thing. It was pretty much a dead heat the last time as well. So what this tells me is, oh my God, there is more people thinking like Trump than I like to admit in our country.
Well, okay. So Regina on me. I'm not a big 538 polling fan. And JG Marr says, I'm not too optimistic about the American political system in general. Oh, boy. Next up, JG Marrs, until they get rid of Clarence Thomas, Alito, and Citizens United, I am with you.
Hello, everybody. My name is Paige. I am a marketing consultant and the host of More Than a Mom, the podcast. I am here at the Soundwave Summit, and I had the pleasure of speaking with Dr. Vibe, and the gems he dropped were unmatched. An accidental conversation really changed my whole plan. And if I had him 3 years ago when I started my consulting career, it would have made a major change. The biggest thing that I learned that I'm taking with me is understanding that I do not have a show, I have a solution. And I think that's something that's not talked about enough. Another thing that really adjusted my mindset was the power of positive language. I was telling him about some of my problems are asking for help. I'm always pouring into other people, but it's hard, and it's a problem that I can't get that same thing in return. And he said, it's not a problem. It's something that, what did you say? Not a problem. You said, oh, it's a challenge. It's something that's a challenge for me. And that simple adjustment of language, I went away to lunch and I called 4 people and I'm like, hey friends, we need to change our energy. We need to change our outlook. We are solution-driven people. We do not need to do things the way society tells us to do things. This checklist that we feel like we need to fall under, this 10-minute conversation we had, it changed up everything. So I'm so thankful for the gems. I feel like I'm going to go back and make a whole new to-do list that's based on how I need to do things, a different way of looking at things, and I'm just so thankful. So thank you, Dr. Vibe.
So Lala has some, as you see, she's let the hair down. She's let the hair down. So yeah. Lala wants to talk to some of you. So she wants to chat with you about tips for Americans to keep their mental space protected during the elections. The mic is yours.
I think this is very important for us to understand. You can get so wrapped up into politics that you cannot take the moments to breathe on your daily life. If there is anything that I have learned in this year and a half is that no matter what comes and goes, we all have one life. And we are here on our own life journeys. And that means living life to its fullest. So when you feel like all of this is very overwhelming, you need to make sure that you take care of yourself and step back and breathe. And one of the things I want you to do is to make sure that you limit your news intake. Because right now, everything is running 24/7, whether you're listening to the radio, whether you're looking at YouTube, whether you're looking at social media, whether you're looking at actual news channels just because you want to watch the weather, you're always going to hear something that is going on. So limit your news intake, and then make sure that you shut that off. Okay, because all they're doing right now is repeating things over and over and over. And when your mind hears things over and over, just like you do with a law of attraction, you're bringing things into your life that you may or may not want into your life. So shut it all the way off and go breathe and smell the flowers. 2, I want you to engage in meaningful conversations. Don't go and just want to fight with somebody over this and that and debate all day long. Listen, go out with your girlfriends. I'm going to tell you right now, Aisha and I, before we do our 10 and 10s, we have a good girlfriend conversation every time that don't even have nothing to do with politics. And so this is what you need to do in your life, to have those meaningful conversations that mean something in your life, and really get those connections going, because it's more than just red and blue that's going on in America right now. Then practice self-care. Go for that walk. Get you some vitamin D, go to the gym, go to the library, get you a good book, put your facial mask on and give yourself some love, because this world is going to go on regardless of who wins. Not that I am not wanting you to make your vote count, but regardless of what happens, the world is not going to end, and you matter. So you need to make sure that you take care of your mental. And finally, I want you to focus on community involvement. Aisha and I always talk about how these elections only focus on what the big election is at the time. However, you need to take the time to at least educate yourself on everything that is going to be on your local ballot. It's more than just the presidency. It's your jailer, your sheriff, your librarians, and almost every state. I can say this for Florida as well as California. When it was election time, they sent out these books that I absolutely loved. They were not for or against either one, but they would have what this really means, the pros and the cons of whatever was on that ballot. So you know what? Get you a nice cup of coffee, get you a nice cup of tea, and look up everything that is on your local ballot, educate yourself, and then put it down, because life is too short. So we want you to be healthy during this time. We do not want anger to take over your life or upset to take over your life, because this also can affect your health. So these are just a few ways that you can step back and breathe from what's going on in these election years.
Dr. Lala let her hair down and she's bringing the fire. There you go. Dr. Tachi says, excellent advice. Am I allowed to add some things?
Yes.
Okay, some things. Stay informed, not overwhelmed.
Yo, I love that.
So mindfulness exercises are key. Engage in some mindfulness exercises such as meditation, deep breathing, or yoga. Relaxation techniques like progressive muscle relaxation, guided imagery. Engage in physical activity. Now, not hitting people, by the way, but I'm saying exercising regularly, like walking, running, if the weather permits, outdoor activities. Maintain social connections.
Yes.
Reach out to friends and family for support and connection. Share your thoughts and feelings with trusted individuals.
Yeah,
And limit your political discussions.
totally.
If
Because
they
it can take up everything.
If those discussions become too stressful, not a good thing. So set boundaries with friends and family discussing election topics and focus on what you can control.
Yeah.
Engage in positive actions that align with your values, such as volunteering, activism, or donating to causes, And remember, you have influence with your immediate environment, but you can't control the election outcome.
That's right.
What else? Practice self-compassion. I think that's a big one. Be kind to yourself, acknowledge your feelings, and allow yourself to experience them without judgment and positive self-talk. Absolutely. And engage in hobbies and interests.
I've been singing more and more every day.
Engage in pursuits like drawing, writing, playing music, or singing music to express your emotions and relieve. And also, there's a few others, but I'm just going to finish it off with this one: staying grounded in the present.
Yes.
Focus on
and I'm going to have to tell you this too, and this is really a serious thing, guys. When you say grounded, yes, staying grounded in the present, this also means going outside and sometimes putting your feet in the sand or putting your feet in the grass. Ground yourself to the earth.
100%. JG Mars. Yeah, don't self-medicate with cheap liquor. LOL.
Yeah.
And also too, limit your exposure to negative environments.
Yes.
Not only during election time, but all the time.
All times.
So you know what I think I'm going to do, Lala? I got a list here. Should we put this in the Discord group?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to put as suggestions. And Regina says, thanks for these suggestions. You're welcome. We are very happy. So that is it for this edition or this episode of Primetime Saturday. Lala, thank you for putting it down, laying it down, and driving the ship.
I want my partner to come back. Now, listen, I will tell you guys, I will not be here next week because it will be my 31-year anniversary.
So I'm going to shout it out from now. Dr. Tachi, are you available? Are you available to come on next week? And I'm going to put it out there. Any of the family out here, you're more than welcome to come on. You don't have to even show your face. You can turn your camera off. You can turn your camera off and make these things happen. Oh, there we go. Dr. Tachi is available next week. So we're going to run. We're going to run. And Dr. Tachi says, happy anniversary. So yes, we will have a show next week. Absolutely. We're speaking that Aisha will be better. So some things Regina says, congratulations to you, Lala.
Thank you.
LALA. All right. All right. So as we finish up a few things, actually more comments. Here we go. Good show. Thanks for the kudos. 100%. 100%. As always, whether Aisha's here, whether Lala's here, whether they're both here or not, we always finish off with contact information. And Lala's just on point these days. So Lala, why don't you tell how people can get a hold of you?
Well, I made it really easy for people because I am on all social media platforms. So instead of just inundating you with all of those, I just put it at one site. So you can go to bit.ly/Laura Key Info. I do want to tell you that I am still fighting for justice for my sisters. And if you would like to follow the journey that we're doing, you're definitely going to find it on my social media, especially TikTok and Instagram. We do have a case coming up this week, so I would appreciate any juju and any love that you can send to my family and I.
100%. Please support. Very, very important. Not only for Lala's case, but all the victims of these unnecessary incidents. Big time. All right, family. So that is that for today. And we got a few things that we want to put up here. So before we close it off today, a few things. You can watch replays of Primetime Saturday on the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Also, you can catch the replays on my website, drvibeshow.com. Remember always, Primetime Saturday at Patreon. There's the link. Primetime Saturday store. Join the Discord group. Email me, dr.vibe at the drvibeshow.com. And if you become a member, you'll get my full list of suggestions on how to handle your mental health during election season, not only for Americans, but just all around. Subscribe to the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube and hit the notification button. Looking for 1,600 subscribers now. We got by 1,600 now. Follow me on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. Advertise your business, product, on service or service on the platform. Email me, dr.vibe at the drvibeshow.com. So I'm going to do something wild here because I didn't put all these things in the comment section. I'm going to multi-purpose, as the song goes, right now. It used to be a Coke commercial, right now. So I'm going to start doing that. But we have another thing here. Regina says, great show tonight. Sending light, Lala. We are all sending light to Lala. Absolutely. We're sending her light to her big time. All right. So, family, what I'm just doing, and you're putting more comments in, which is good because it allows me at the same time to put some of this contact information in the house. So let's do that. I'm going to get it done real quick. So just give me probably another 20 seconds. It gives you time if you have any more comments to put in to make it happen. So we got that. Discord stuff done. What else we got going on here? Subscribe to the Dr. Vibe. So we got that. Should have done that, but the conversation was so engaging. We got that. Okay, and one more to go, and we are out. So looking forward. Again, thank you, everyone. Share it out. Share it out. Share out the show. Tell your friends, family, and I do have some things to wrap on. Something special is coming up next month. At least 2 special things coming up next month. 2 special things. So keep tuned in to the show because there's things going to be happening. There's things going to be happening. So as always, remember, live your life as a dream. If you can dream it, you can make it. Sometimes you have to get small to get stronger. Block assumptions, then aim bigger, aim better, aim higher, aim wider. Love, faith, and respect. Remember, just don't manage your time, manage your energy. Jen says, great show. You helped make it a great show. You all made it a great show. And as always, just don't manage your time, manage your energy. Remember to give yourself grace. God bless. Peace to well. Keep the faith, walk good, and say a prayer for Aisha. Hope we see her again next week. And happy anniversary, Lala. You keep it going. Keep the fire burning, you and Will. Take care.